How come you keep changing shirts if I have the same one? What the fuck's going on here?
Because you wear that same shirt 3 weeks in a row.
I love this. What can I say? I love this Sting shirt. It's a very good design. That's why I went to the TNA shop to actually buy it. Or, no, A merchandise to buy it. I'll say that.
We're like DX when they used to publicise their merchandise and where to get it from.
Yeah, but we're just not going to publicise our asses like they did. I'm sure many ladies out there would probably love to see that, but you don't want to see the hair on my ass. I'm just saying. We're the British Fist. Ka-ching! I'm Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me who's kind of disgusted now. It's none of an NJ.
What's up?
Was it really that bad of an image for you, NJ? Come on, let's do this Q&A. Keep sending us in your questions down in the comment section below through inboxing us or through Facebook or through Twitter with the hashtag BritishFistQA.
Please don't contact us, please.
Please contact us in the links in the description box below. Mark Slam S621, who sent us in that lovely what's up? Who is the better technical wrestler, Bobby Roode or Christopher Daniels?
Bobby Roode.
I'd say Christopher Daniels, purely on the basis of his work in ROH and the fact that he showed he could go with technical wrestling. Bobby Roode is a very good wrestler. I just think Christopher Daniels is a much better technical wrestler. But I think Bobby Roode is a better all-round wrestler.
When was Christopher Daniels' last World Heavyweight Champion?
Exactly. There you go. Andrew Harris, can you see WWE having a WrestleMania outside of the US?
Yes.
The amount of times we've seen this question, I can't see them having a WrestleMania outside of the US. I think the SummerSlam maybe, but not a WrestleMania. I really would love it to come to the UK, but I don't think it will.
Give us WrestleMania! You've given us the fact that, yes...
Too much monster make NJ crazy there. Klaus and Joel Lopez. Which faction do you think is worse, 3MB or Aces and Eights? 3MB. I mean,
3MB. They're not going to go anywhere.
I guess you could also say Aces and Eights purely based on the fact that they were a massive part of the show and they dragged the show down big time. Whereas 3MB never really did that because they were never really that big of a deal.
Well, when Aces and Eights come tag team champion twice in their lifetime and 3MB break up, then we'll see.
Looky, it's me. I think that's how you pronounce it. 1, 2, 3. Looky, it's me. 1, 2, 3. With WrestleMania only 5 weeks away, shows you how long this question was sent in by. Shows you the waiting list, doesn't it?
Oh,
now, do you see any chance of it being decent? I'm not interested in any of the storylines at the moment, and I don't see it changing before WrestleMania. Well, let's look at the card. Got Rock vs. Cena 2. Excited? No. Punk vs. Undertaker. Excited? Yeah, I'd say excited. Brock versus Triple H should be a good match. Henry versus Ryback should be a good match. Shield versus the Superheroes and Big Show could be a good match. Jericho and Fandango, I'm definitely excited for that one. The 3 big matches, apart from Rock and Cena, are kind of exciting. But I see what you mean. Last year's WrestleMania was really exciting. I remember us being really excited for WrestleMania 28 and the 3 big matches. This year, it just doesn't quite capture that essence, does it?
The thing that throws me with this is the fact that they've had many change of plans coming towards the Rock Cena, the world title's been a bit up in the air, and the Shield match. There's been a few change of plans. It's been a bit off-putting during the build.
Will Ziggler become the second person to cash in Money in the Bank and lose? Every time he gets a bit of momentum, they have him jobbed the next week. It's got to the point where I don't see him cashing it in as successfully, even with the help of Langston. He will cash it in. I don't think WWE will have him not cash it in, or else they probably would have just not had him not cash it in by now and lose. But they haven't really done a great... I mean, Ziggler can beat Kofi, and then he loses to any bigger star than him. So... You know, do you really believe him as a world champion? That's the question.
Right now, I think it's going to be a stroke of luck. He cashes it in, and somehow from there, he's going to probably feel more important because he's holding the world heavyweight. He'll probably think, right, I feel stronger, better, go for it, and he'll probably start winning.
To be honest, as soon as he wins the belt, he will start winning, and it won't be believable. But to be honest, with Ziggler's booking, he had some feuds and everything, but he's just been jobbing so much. I mean, Jesus Christ. When will WWE get over this fact that it's just... The Money in the Bank should be more about luck. You should build up a guy to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase or just get rid of the fucking thing altogether. The WWE seem obsessed with odd tag teams currently. Kane versus Daniel Bryan, Fat Dancing Fucks, FDF for short, Road Scholars. But where have all the actual tag teams gone? The Usos are nowhere despite getting a small push and a good crowd reaction a few months ago. Primetime players are jobbers and Isaiah Epico and Primo. I think it's safe to say Mysterio and Sin Cara crashed and burned. Is there no direction for the tag titles? I mean, they have been very... I mean, the odd tag teams weren't necessarily a bad thing. They help get the tag titles kind of relevant again. But, I mean, yeah, we do need some more logical tag teams that are actually going to be there, that aren't going to break up. They're actually going to be there around after Daniel Bryan and Kane break up, after the Rhodes Scholars break up, etc.
Well, sadly, I've been saying this for a while, and WWE have said the opposite. I've said that the tag division's failing many times. The WWE is saying we're working on it. So, to be honest, the fact they keep making tag teams just to break them up is sad. Instead of putting some together, saying, right, you're great in the tag team division, stay there for many years. I'd say the WWE just don't know how to keep tag teams together.
I'll tell you this though, this is the first WrestleMania in some time where the tag titles have actually been on the line in a match at WrestleMania. So, you know, the tag team division may be failing, but at least we have a tag team match on the card.
A match
for the
that
tag
shouldn't
titles.
be happening.
Arguably so, but it's still there. It's still on the card. Given the impressive mic work, most of the guys like Sandow and O'Neil, why hasn't the WWE given them any kind of push or at least more TV time? Because they just, I guess the reason why they do it is because they have a bit of a standout performance and everything, which is all fine and good, but they just have no real direction for them because they're right now, Titus O'Neil and Sandow are basically jobbers. And even if they do some great mic work there, like I said, do again, even if they do some great mic work, they ain't going to get pushed because they wouldn't have any direction because they're jobbing right now.
And the thing you've just said, following your previous question, they're both tag team wrestlers. And I think, to be honest, giving them a push, yes, you might want it, like Sandow going after the IC, going towards the world. It's great and all, but again, following your last question, they should stay in their tag teams, just not to break up yet another tag team.
Most people are quite happy with the Shield remaining as 3 members, but I'd like to see Sandow join them. His gimmick of being the intellectual savior kind of goes with the gimmick of being the saviors against Justice Thoughts. No. Sandow's character would not fit with the Shield character, really. Can you see Sandow and his kind of, I'm the intellectual savior of the masses, being part of the Shield faction that are there and just being pure dominant faction?
Heel, yes, but the way that the Shield are dressed, the way they act, the fact they're serious, and Sandow's jokey in his mic work, it really wouldn't fit. And plus, I've said this many times, the fact that Shield are only 3 members compared to 5, 6 or bigger faction, it makes them stand out.
The only person I think that could join them would be maybe Cassius Ohno, but I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some good stuff with him down in NXT right now, and I think they'll debut him at a later date. That's the only person I think could join. Us 3, though, like you said, rather than a faction like Aces and Eights or Nexus that had 7 people, it was really hard to make them all stand out. At least all 3 of these guys stand out. D96 Mister, or MR, don't know what you want to be called there. With Taker rumoured to have his last match at WrestleMania 30, do you think his last opponent should be Cena? In my opinion, that would be a huge blockbuster match, and I can picture a huge riot in New Orleans if Cena ended the streak.
End the streak, no.
He won't end the streak, but I think that is a match that WWE have to do. The one thing Cena hasn't done is go after the streak, whether he wins or not. I believe this is a match that needs to be done at WrestleMania 30.
I'm going to say this for every time we talk about Taker continuing. No storyline's really going to be end of an era. The fact that they haven't done Cena and Taker yet in Taker's career, I still think maybe they've left to the latest point. That's why I'm not behind Punk and Taker, because Taker's not what he used to be many years ago.
But Taker and Cena could still be a big match for the company, though, at WrestleMania. It could very, very much main event the program if
it
they
was
wanted to.
thanks to Cena.
Do you think, and not to mention Taker's streak, which is considered a massive deal in WWE,
and Punk and Taker, yeah.
Do you think it would be cool if we got to see The Undertaker as the American Badass one more time before he retires? I honestly think it would be cool at WrestleMania 29, the droid starts singing with the Taker symbol at the Tigertron, and after the gong goes off 3 times, and then darkness, we all of a sudden see the American Badass theme starts to play, and Taker comes out on a motorcycle. I think at this point, going back to the American Badass would not be a good thing. I just think they should keep him as his current gimmick, because it does fit with the special attraction. You know, just that kind of mix between humanizing Taker a little bit and trying to dehumanize him slightly.
I'd say with all Taker's characters he's had, the Badass one, yes, it had a good theme song. Yes, he still had some good matches in that time, but it weren't Taker. And I think bringing it back is going to go back to when the fans were put off by Taker.
Yeah, I'd say keep Taker as he is. There's no need to change Undertaker. This is a question I've been looking forward to answer. What's your guys' WrestleMania 30 dream card? Let's think of 5 big matches with the current roster you could have at WrestleMania. Punk versus Stone Cold would be a big one in my opinion. I would personally see, Undertaker versus Cena would be a big one for me. What other matches? Like, what about Team Road Scholars versus New Age Outlaws? Would that be a big kind of WrestleMania 30 match for you?
The fact it'd be a year later from when I wanted it to happen, I'm not sure. If I had to pick another one within a year, hopefully Barrett's book will be better because I'm still waiting for him to at least be going against the World Heavyweight Champion again.
What about Brock Lesnar? He'll be at WrestleMania 30. Do you think they should have? Who do you think they could have Brock Lesnar go up against?
I'm not going to go with what the internet's saying, which is Rock.
Sheamus. The Rock wouldn't, but it would fit with our card. Brock Lesnar versus The Rock would be a big match.
As long as it's no championship on the line.
As long as there's no championship, then I would also be for it. It would be another big main event match for the company. Other than that, Triple H.
Before we go to Triple H, I'll say I know it's not a big match. No one really care. I know it's a year away. Big Show versus Rollins.
Big Show versus Seth Rollins could be a big match if you want to go down that route.
Yeah.
Or Reigns. What about Ryback? Do you think Ryback maybe versus a?
At the time, even though we've just said about Big Show, probably do Big Show if not in that match you just said.
I think we could have Ryback versus Sheamus, and that would be a pretty battle of the baby faces on SmackDown or something would be pretty good. So that's got some pretty good matches there. Jamal Payne. Do you guys think Punk would ever be WWE champion if he didn't do the shoot pipe bomb promo? And what do you think he'd be doing? They would be doing with him now. Well, he was the World Heavyweight Championship champion twice before we did that. So, but would he have been the WWE champion, the big champion on Raw, if he didn't do that? I don't think he would have been, because even though he was a talented guy, the shoot pipe bomb promo made him from like a sort of upper mid-carder into a surefire main eventer for the company, despite the fact they kind of dropped the ball with him, in my opinion.
Well, the fact when he did that promo, he was already involved with the WWE Championship.
Going into Money in the Bank, he was already involved, yes, but if he didn't cut that promo, after Money in the Bank, would he have just been a filler opponent for Cena, or would he have been a big-time star later on and facing Jericho at WrestleMania 28 and Undertaker at WrestleMania 29?
I think he'd been ex-World Heavyweight Champion, the next step would be the WWE, so I'd personally be one of the fans that said yes.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been anywhere near as big of a star for the company if he didn't do that shoot pipe bomb promo. In the same way that Austin would never have been a big deal if he didn't do that King of the Ring 1996 promo, I believe, on Jake Roberts with the Austin 316 said, "I just whoop your ass." So these moments do define careers, in my opinion. Clutch Killer 1. When Undertaker retires, do you think that they will be a special documentary DVD, much like Austin's, HBK's, etc.? And do you think that it would hurt Taker's character to have him speak throughout the DVD? I'm guessing you mean out of character, because this is an interesting one. They've already released the Taker DVD, 20-0. I think they will obviously release a Taker DVD when it comes, but to have him talk out of character, that would be something that the WWE Universe really wouldn't have ever seen. If it's going to be the end of his career, why not do it?
Well, look at this. The fact you've had a 15-0 DVD, a 20-0. If he's only got 2 more years in him, I think they should have waited to do 22-0.
Or just do a fuel documentary like they done with CM Punk.
They could have done, but I just think that the 20-0 should have waited. But yes, I think there's going to be more of a overall history, even though it'd be similar to 20-0. But yes,
and it wouldn't hurt Taker's character all that much if he's retiring that year, because then he wouldn't be wrestling and he wouldn't be under the public eye. He could be Mark Calloway that way. So I think having him speak out of character in the DVD would be fine if that is the plan. 11 Amory. With Michael McGillicuddy being away from the WWE programming lately, do you think WWE are finally going to repackage him as Joe Hennig? No. I don't think, even though many people in the WWE actually want to do it, I don't think Vince McMahon wants to, because he wants the rights to the name and he doesn't want to use the name Joe Hennig.
I look forward to seeing Michael McGillicuddy's return, especially with the recent booking of NXT wrestlers and how well they're starting to do. I look forward to see if they can do it with people like Michael McGillicuddy. So I'd say bring him in, but I don't see his name changing.
He's a guy in desperate need of a repackage. I mean, I've seen him on NXT. He's obviously a very good talent in the ring, but really needs a repackage. That's all I'll say. The name Michael McGillicuddy says it all. Mr. TNA 2005. 5 more delightful questions from TNA related. How much do you think I will despise more the bookers of TNA that the Chris Sabin returns? They will not make a true comeback storyline and give me one more heel Sabin X Division title run who would be the best at that moment. I wouldn't mind that. Chris Sabin returning as a heel. They would need a guy like Chris Sabin in the X Division. I wouldn't be that bothered about it.
As long as Sabin doesn't get injured, I'd say yes, come back and actually give us a rest of that TNA fans can mark out for.
In the Royal Rumble, I observed a lot, and I mean a lot of lack of stars or big main eventers. Even though I was 100% sure Cena was going to win, it was just Cena, Orton, Kane, Y2J, Sheamus, only at that level with Taker, Christian, Show missing. it was like a 4 or 5 guys who, let's say, you could think would win and it would be believable. There is some truth in that. Going into it, we only thought there was going to be 3 winners. That was either Cena, Sheamus, or Ryback, and they were the final 3. And other than that, we didn't really see anyone else that could win based on booking or especially based on the fact that The Rock was going to be there at WrestleMania. So there wasn't too much star power in there. There were a lot of jobbers or returning legends in there. So I do see your point, Mr. TNA 2005, in that sense. Okay, this is a question. Who could step right up there so next year it won't be that way? And I don't mean the jobber, Barrett, Ziggler, ADR, Daniel Bryan, because they cannot. I don't see any reason why Barrett couldn't, if built up correctly.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and NJ now has a vendetta against you, Mr. TNA 2005, so be warned. I don't know, do you have any connections with Terminator, NJ?
I'd say, personally, I think Barrett, again, like I said in previous questions, Barrett, he's got a whole year now to try and move forward. I'd say Barrett, by next Rumble, could be in a better place.
I think Ryback will be there by then, so there you go. He's not a jobber. If you could choose someone from TNA going after Take a Street, who would it be? No Angle or Sting? I'm not really sure who else would be believable on the TNA roster to go after Undertaker Street, personally.
If I had to look down, I'd say there's 2 people, well, 1 person now, that's Samoa Joe.
I would say Matt Morgan. I think Matt Morgan could have a good chance at ending the streak. That's just me. Did you succeed to see the best wrestling debut, in my opinion, of Judas Messiah in 2008? If you did, what's your opinion? No, we still haven't seen that, unfortunately. Number 5, Bryan Danielson versus Kurt Angle, 1 hour Iron Man match, Kane versus Abyss Monsters Ball match, AJ versus Cena wrestling match, Teschmacher versus Velvet dressed like secretary in a 5-minute argue, Bad Influence with Damian Sandow and Joseph Hart in a 50-minute promo. Rank this from number 1 to number 5. Well, Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle in an Iron Man match would be pretty fucking good. So would Kane versus Abyss. So I would have that as my 1 and 2. AJ and Cena number 3, as that would definitely be a good match. Teschmacher, let's put the Bad Influence promo 4 and Teschmacher versus Velvet number 5.
I'd change the Cena and AJ one with Bad Influence, and then you've got my order, yeah.
So the AJ Cena match would be 5th?
No, 4th.
4th, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Superfan 931. This will be the last 3 questions we do on this Q&A. I believe. Since heels are being booked like crap in WWE, what are your thoughts if it was the other way around, as the faces are booked like shit and not the heels always losing? That would be at least somewhat serviceable, because, you know, that would be the heels be looking dominant and you would actually have the baby faces needing like they needed to overcome the heel. So the other way around would be completely fine.
Well, it goes back to the time when we had like Edge and Triple H as champion, because when they were champion, their booking, it felt like back then the heels played more of an important role. If they were to bring that back, at least it would be more like Cena's not always going to be the guy we expect to win, because the heels are getting the better booking at the time. Indeed.
Should WWE have a creative team for each division? Tag team, divas, mid-card, main eventers. Not a bad idea. The only trouble is people are switching from tag team to main event all the time. So you have, like, let's say Cody Rhodes and Sandow. They may be planning on making them into main eventers. So you'd have a different person writing for them in the tag team, but then they want to get them ready for different writers who then might have a different direction for them. I just think that you should have, personally, me, after watching a lot of Vince Russo shoots and seeing his whole opinion on this, I just think you need 1 or 2, maybe 3 head writers to determine one direction, so you don't move away from it. Whereas in this committee of writers, you have, like, people can really go off base and things get changed and plans get changed. And I really think it should be that way in the writing process.
Well, Superfan, I'm looking at yours. Let's take away the divas, because I think, again, unless you get a female to do that and respect them better than what the males are at the moment, I say the tag, mid-card and main event could do with a writer, as long as they all, especially the mid-card and the main event, as long as they stick together and pass messages now again when they need to. That'd be a brilliant idea. It's less work for the writers and more direction for the wrestlers.
I think the only issue I'd have with that is the fact that communication, but just like in business, with communication between different divisions, means that there's going to be competition between different divisions, and people booking the tag team are going to be in competition with the mid-card, with the divas, with the main eventers. In that case, the main eventers may not be booked like main eventers. They may to be booked like maybe they're on the undercard. That's the only thing I have with that. That's just me talking business there. Could you see Hunico and JTG forming a tag team? When was the last time we saw Hunico on TV? When was the last time we saw JTG on TV that wasn't jobbing?
I think if JTG was to do anything, just bring Shad back. Hunico, I really don't care as much as I was hoping to, so I'd say no.
No, I don't really see the point in these two forming a tag team. I mean, they're probably more likely to get on TV with this tag team, but as a jobber tag team only. That's been another Q&A. Versus the British Fist. We've done 3 of these in a row, and I'm bloody knackered. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below on some of the questions we've answered, and don't forget to keep sending in your questions as well, as we believe. We're either don't know whether we're past WrestleMania here or we're near to WrestleMania. I don't know when this Q&A is going to go up, so I don't know where we are in the wrestling calendar right now.
But people, thank you very much for watching. This has been Mr. Parkin. This has been The Game NJ. Till next time, YouTubers, thank you very much. We've had a good time. And until next time, good.